Well, hi, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me in my shop. If you've been watching the series of videos I've been posting on this radio, you know I've been making very slow, careful progress with it. So I just want to talk about where I'm going with this in the future. Today I hope to do the IF alignment process. I'm not sure how far through it I'll get. Maybe it'll be easy. Maybe things will show up and make it more difficult. But I would like to get through that process. And then, assuming that goes okay, and even if it doesn't, I'm bound to set this radio aside for a while in favor of another project, which is being dropped off here today. So for the next few days, I'll be working on a console stereo. When that's done, I'm likely to bring the other HRO radio in here, at least for an initial checkout, or maybe to pursue it to some degree like I've done with this one. I don't know anything about the other radio other than I've discovered the tuning knob is disconnected from the shaft and the capacitor is frozen stiff, or appears to be frozen stiff inside the radio. Otherwise, it's an older version of the HRO than this one. It has a different kind of knob here, so it's an earlier version yet, and the serial number contains the letter B in it. I think it's 126B, and from my reading, no one knows where the A's, the B's, or the C's are for these radios. So that's kind of weird. How would I end up with a B that no one else knows? So that other radio is kind of interesting in itself, but so that's the longer-term view of things here. Just so you know where I'm going with this, because you're investing your time watching these videos, I understand that. And it'd be a little disappointing when suddenly, this guy disappears and some other project's out here. So, okay, so to do the IF alignment, I'm going to follow the instructions as closely as I can, and we'll see where that gets us with this radio. First thing, we should read the instructions. That'd be a good idea. Okay, we take a look at the instructions here. We could start rating here. Connect the high output lead from the signal generator to grid cap V3. I've done that. After the grid lead has been disconnected, done that. Set the receiver controls like this. I've done that. You notice they're counting on the CW oscillator to produce a tone rather than use a modulated signal going into the radio. With the signal generator modulation off, tune the generator slowly between the frequencies of 450 and 460 until a sharply peaked response is indicated on the output meter. This peak response occurs at the exact frequency of the crystal, and the generator should remain tuned to this frequency. So it sounds very simple. Yeah, we'll give this a go. Now, I already believe the crystal's frequency is 455.3 based on bench tests. And more than what you saw on videos. I did a couple more angles on it, and it always came back to 455.3. So, and then you just adjust the trimmers. Well, that sounds simple enough. Okay, let's just take a look at the radio here. Just go down that list again to make absolutely sure I've got things right. So AVC switch is off. RF gain control set to 9. It's set to 9. Phasing control set to 5. So the crystal is switched on and the phasing control is in the middle. Selectivity control maximum to left or right. Now, to me, in my earlier experiments, it was quite different to be here or here. It seemed quite different, although while in the non-crystal mode, this certainly seemed to be the sweet spot, so to speak. So I don't know about that. These instructions are based on the idea that all the components in the radio are good, and there's no problems in the radio. Radio's working perfectly, just out of alignment. But I could have problems in this radio easily that could throw this kind of stuff off. Audio gain control advanced for suitable reading. So it's I'll just put it on 2 right now. And CW oscillator 8 or 9 for audio beat. So I've got it up here in between 8 and 9. So there we are, it's all set. we're ready to go. I should switch on the set and give it a little bit of time to warm up too, because there may be some instabilities in it. Okay, checking the connections here. Putting on my plus meter. Here we go. Once again, I am stunned that this radio works as well as it works, because in all this time I've been looking at it, I have yet to find anything that says anybody's done something to this radio. So I think this guy came out of service, who knows when, 1960, who knows when it came out of service. Probably sat in a warehouse or storeroom for years and years and years, and eventually got sold off as surplus. Traveled through the hands of who knows who, one guy, 5 guys, who knows how many ham radio operators or listeners have been fooling around with this guy. And somehow it ended up in the hands of some people I know who know nothing about radios, and they handed it to me. That's kind of the story there. I should put the headphones on. We should hear this thing a little bit. It's connected to the antenna, but the antenna is turned off at the moment. Let's just reassure ourselves that this is working. B plus time. Okay, B plus, a little bit of volume over here. Okay, B plus going up. There we are. B plus around the one. Let's go a little higher this time, around 170. Ooh, what was that? I'm waving the voltage up and down. I don't know. Okay, so we're up in the range of where are we here? 300 scale. Oh, we're way up there. We're way over 200. Let's put it around 200. Been reading the scale a little bit wrong there. Okay, 175 is where the B plus is set, and we'll flip on my oscillator here. Turn that down. Where's my oscillator set? Signal generator. Way up high, way up high. Bring it way down. Down in the range. Well, I went right by it, didn't hear a thing, but that's okay. I'm going to leave everything sit here and warm up a bit. And I'm going to go drink a little bit of coffee as usual, and then we're going to attempt this. Okay, I think we're ready for a try here. I'm going to turn off 2 of my hissy microphones. Not terrible, eh? So I have one mono microphone you're listening to me now, and then I have the stereo one that comes along with this. Yes. Okay. So what you're hearing is the radio. In fact, I'll turn off the other microphone briefly. There you are. So that kind of rumbly, hissy stuff is the radio itself. Now, I'm going to try sweeping. What does it say in the instructions? It says, with the signal generator modulation off. Okay, it's off. Tune the generator slowly between the frequencies of 450 and 460 until a sharply peaked response is indicated in the output meter. Well, we'll just be listening right now. I don't have the output meter turned on. This peak response occurs at the exact frequency of the crystal, and the generator should remain tuned to this frequency. And I believe it's 455. I believe that's where this is going to happen. 455.3. Okay, so I've got a fairly low signal. In fact, let's check the calibration of it again right now. This is not right at all. This is all messed up here. Okay, so we have a calibrated output, supposedly, and I don't know what the output should be. This is 10 times 10, 100 microvolts being fed to the grid of the tube here. And we'll tune through and see what we hear. And I think I should. And let's just do it. There it is. Crazy sharp. Wow, this is tough. signal generator stable enough to stay right on this. But how accurate do we have to be? Even though the crystal frequency is extremely sharp, the bandwidth of the IF is going to be wider, I imagine. So we're really just trying to fix the frequency of this. Unfortunately, I don't have enough decimal places here. And see if I can keep this number. It's flashing 55, 56. How far can I? So I think I can move this on and off this peak we're hearing, and these numbers won't even change. Wow, that is really, really tough. I wish I knew. So can I know this frequency more accurately? Yes, I can. If I get my SDR going, then I can read the frequency more accurately, and that's exactly what I'm going to do next. So let me stop for a minute here. Oh, that was interesting. So you can still hear the tone coming from the really it's coming from the CW oscillators where the tone is coming from. And I have my SDR now on the screen, and I'm going to put the red line where I think the frequency supposedly is, 455.3. I think it's there, but there's nothing there. What's going on now? So I have the SDR antenna pickup coil. Is this yellow coil just sitting here right near the connection to the tube? I'm hoping to pick up a little bit of signal. I've got this on very low output here, so I'm going to raise the output. And anything show up? I didn't look. Let me keep an eye on the... there's nothing happening. Nothing at all. So the output is quite low. I could feed the output straight into the SDR rather than try to catch it with a coil. Oh, heavens. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. I wasn't quite expecting that, so the connection here to the grid wire wasn't all that good. Good enough, though. So somewhere there's got to be some signal leaking somewhere that I can get it. I don't know. Not showing up. Nothing at all. So we're going to try a direct connection here. Just with the live wire, so to speak. What happens here? So this is only 10 times 10, 100 microvolts. That's not very much. We should be okay. Famous last words. Ooh, well, okay, kind of messed up the radio, didn't I? Well, there is something very close now. Wait a minute, how come this says 454? It's supposed to be 455. Oh, bingo, right on the money. Look at that. Okay, so I think the reassurance here is a couple things. One, I've got this frequency set correctly. Two, it's matching my earlier experiments with the crystal. So that I think that reassures everything. We can take this off now. See, it didn't jump frequency or anything like that. The radio's still okay. Good. So we have the signal generator on the right frequency. Don't dare touch that now. We do the alignment steps. Okay, let's just take a look at the alignment steps. I think they're going to pop up on the screen here. Yes, they are. So, looking at the alignment steps, I'm just going to turn the sound down in our ears. Just keep it up a little wee bit. So we've done this. Adjust the IF trimmers, numbers 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 for maximum output meter reading. The order of adjustment is unimportant, which is very unusual that they said that. And here they are. They are from 10 to 14, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You leave these alone. There's something completely different over here. Even though the cans look similar, this is a completely different thing over here. So adjust this one. Now, I tried this and couldn't adjust it. So I think we're going to skip this one, and we're going to fiddle around with these two only. These four only. Now, what is that I'm forgetting about these? It was hard to get into them, was it? I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, this isn't even clipped on. It's a little better. Okay, I got to get my head right in front of the camera here. Oh, that's right, these big screws, and they're all clumped up. That's what's right. I've got a screwdriver. This is too big and small. Right. Oops. I bumped the audio connection here. Okay. Just listening, really terrible way to do this, but let's just find out right now how bad it is. Okay, so if I'm in on this one. Oh my God, this screw is in bad shape. It's right on the money. Oh my God. I don't think I got it back to where it was. Bigger screwdriver here. Oh my gosh, it's just going up and down even I'm just standing here. We're gonna have to use the meter. We got to use the meter. Okay. So stop for a minute, I'll get the meter. This meter takes a long time to warm up. I should have turned it on a long time ago in anticipation. So yeah, I'm gonna stop for a couple minutes here, get things set up. Do this more properly. Okay, I think we're ready now to do the alignment. I've had to give up on trying to use the voltmeter here. I give right up. The voltage I'm trying to measure is so small that voltmeter, even on the 1 volt scale, it was coming up only a couple of meter widths and meter needle widths. That's just not enough. So I'm employing my oscilloscope as a voltmeter there. All we're interested in anyway is getting bigger or smaller. We don't care about the absolute value. Okay, we'll go back to trying to do this now. Any order, eh? Okay, excuse me for showing the back of my head briefly. It's better than the front of my head, I have to tell you that. Wow, these screws have been brutalized in this thing, I think. So here we go. Okay, I feel a little better doing it this way. When you're doing this, if you shove on the tool, you can cause a variation right there. Okay. What I'm hoping is that this is way out, but we'll see if I can even turn this. There it goes. Not way out. Couldn't be way out, or this radio wouldn't work, would it? At least the crystal filter operation wouldn't be correct. Oh. Hey, it's aligning itself. What's happening there? I'm not touching anything. Much better. Some radio realigned itself just now. Let me just turn this down one click. That was pretty impressive. In any case, these two are not far out. Not enough to cause a real performance issue. Let's try this one up here. Again, I can see the screw has been cammed. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you use a flathead screwdriver, you stick it in the screw slot, and the screw is stuck. So you turn. At some point, the screwdriver pops out, and as it does, it grinds away the slot and makes the slot harder and harder to keep a screwdriver in. That's what's happening to these. It's kind of surprising. You wouldn't think these would require any kind of force. Okay, here we go. Oh, change the pitch. This is probably the one that the CW oscillator is feeding right into. Didn't get anything out of that. Or maybe not feeding right into, but here we go. Well, you know, this was pretty good. So I got a little bit there. Let's go back to the one right at the start. Okay, then this one was acting a little wonky. Let's see, still acting wonky. No, I don't think so. Very hard to turn these screws though. These are not easy going guys here. I do believe that's it. So all this effort, and what I've discovered is the radio is well aligned. I don't think it was far out at all. Okay, and take a little break, and then we're going to listen to the radio again, but I can't imagine it's going to sound any different. And I'd like to play a little more with the two controls here, which I discovered maybe it's more operator sensitive than I realized. I may have been missing. I may have been operating it too roughly. Okay, good. Okay, so what I've done here is I've removed the equipment. I've reconnected the grid. Radio's in normal operating mode. I've got an antenna connected, but I've done something tricky here, and I have not connected the ground across yet because of some weird sound that I heard. I think I should experiment just a wee bit with that. Now if you listen to it, let me turn it up a bit. Oop. So you hear a ringy sort of sound in there. Like something's trying to ring, but it can't quite do it. That's the sound of the crystal filter, I'm pretty sure. So I haven't made any adjustments here. I will do that now. Adjust the crystal filter. It's off. So it doesn't sound like the crystal filter ringy sound changes with this. Now I'll put it back to 5. And we'll try the selectivity. So this is not behaving the way they seem to say in the middle. Maybe that's with this off. So more noise, broader bandwidth, tightened bandwidth. Tightened bandwidth, reduction of the output, so you would compensate with RF gain, not much left there, a little bit of audio. Is that really the crystal? I think it is. I think it is. So now we're going to turn that off. Turn down the volume. Turn off the crystal. That ringy sound's completely gone now, and RF has come up. We'll set this to the... So this isn't behaving properly. And the fact is, I ignored these two adjustments. Now, one of these was called for in the alignment, and I avoided it on purpose. Maybe that's a big mistake, I don't know. And there's another adjustment over here, not called for. What's that for? Why did I not adjust this? Am I making it up? No, there's an adjustment in there. So there's something funny. Maybe I've overlooked something in the process. I don't think so, though. But it seems to me you'd want to adjust this box before you're adjusting stuff here. Not sure. Okay, let's see where we can tune in now. I think we're all set for that. Oh, so I've got the BFO still running, or the CW oscillator. And that's teletype. Hard to believe, eh? Teletype still used? Yep. Could be spy teletype.
inteligencia artificial ha pasado de ser una mera especulación a una realidad palpable en nuestras vidas. Un aspecto que sigue intrigando a científicos, filósofos y entusiastas es si algún día las máquinas podrán experimentar emociones, un territorio hasta ahora reservado exclusivamente para los seres humanos. La inteligencia artificial ha alcanzado logros notables en campos como el reconocimiento de voz, la visión por computadora y el procesamiento del lenguaje natural. Con algoritmos cada vez más sofisticados y grandes cantidades de datos, las máquinas pueden realizar tareas que
Oh
antes
yeah,
se
I
consideraban
forgot. I haven't
exclusivamente humanas.
put the antenna all the way down yet.
La
Let's see
capacidad
what
de
happens here.
experimentar emociones va mucho más allá
Volumes
de la
are
mera
quite low.
expresión de
There we go.
emociones.
Did it get
Los
quieter?
sentimientos son experiencias subjetivas
Much better.
que surgen en respuesta a estímulos internos o externos. Involucran una combinación
Overloading
compleja
it.
de procesos
Put the
neuroquímicos,
ABC on.
cognitivos y sociales que dan lugar a sensaciones como la
Turn the
felicidad,
volume up a
la
bit.
tristeza, el miedo o el amor. Estas experiencias son
Sounds
fundamentales
wonderful.
para la
It
toma de
sounds just
decisiones,
excellent.
las interacciones sociales y el bienestar psicológico de los seres humanos. Desde una perspectiva científica, los sentimientos son el resultado de la actividad neuronal en el cerebro humano. Aunque se han realizado varios avances en la comprensión de cómo funcionan los circuitos neuronales relacionados con las emociones, la naturaleza exacta de la conciencia y la subjetividad
I don't speak the language, so.
misterio. Por lo tanto, replicar esta complejidad en una
There
máquina
are two
plantea desafíos
transmitters transmitting this.
significativos.
As soon as we hit the teletype, it kind of gives you a hint you're out of the broadcast band, so we'll go up this way. Very quiet. Too quiet. Too quiet. The interesting thing was, I'm hearing nothing, 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 and then I didn't go past this station. This station's not very strong, but I managed to find it. That's a good radio. Now, you could turn on the BFO, help you find these things. Be interesting to compare this to another radio, but I'm not ready to do that just yet. There's more teletype. Might suggest I'm off the end of the band here.
The accused reply. Have I spoken your words?
My meaning was, I said that if warring was right, I would rather take the field against so-called Christians if, as you state, Turks know nothing of the Christian faith, then they are but Turks of the flesh. But you...
Turks of the flesh. What is he talking about? Getting down to the end here. 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. You know, the capacitor's not all the way closed yet. What happens when you go past? I'm at 0. 500. Shouldn't the capacitor be closed at 0? That's a little odd, isn't it? It's not a little odd. So I'm in the 400s now. That seemed a little odd to me. Let's zoom right through. Can we find anything? Whoop.
Digital rm@gmail.
So these are the stations I started with, and then there's the teletype. And we'll go the other way and we'll find out I'm at 300, 310, 320. That's curious. I don't know what that is. just leaving it for a moment to see if I can detect drifting. But you know what that is? That sounds like facsimile. It'd be like a satellite image, weather image from decades ago. Why is there facsimile still being used today? Could be a ham guy. I don't know where I am on here. Come and go signal. Come and go signal when? I don't think it's anything. Definitely a single sideband. On the wrong side. Don't stop. It's a weather signal. I either just finished, and I that's too bad. I was just getting them in. I think it was a weather signal though. Yeah, who knows when he's coming back. So we'll carry on here. Not far to go. What is that? So these days when I'm listening to shortwave, I'm using an SDR, I'm looking at my computer screen and the waterfall display, and I see a lot of weird stuff. Right in the broadcast bands too. Non-broadcast, weird looking signals. And they sound like a little like this thing. That could be, you know, that could be radar. It could be on these over the horizon radar systems. Quite broadband.
Te recuerdo que estamos aquí de la mañana y a la 1 de la tarde. Mónica Lebre y Alejandro Sayas Bazán, te damos las gracias por estar allí, escuchando.
Ones that are sent in by our listeners, and that's absolutely true.
So we're near number
everything
400.
that we receive here to function in the ministry comes from people who listen.
So we're near 400.
The means that grace to you
Yeah,
provides.
400
God sees your sacrifice,
puts us up around
and God is faithful to
13.
bless
We're either
you
in
for
the
that, but you'll
13
never see your full
megahertz
reward
European
until we
band,
all
or we're in the
get
11.
to heaven together, and we'll find out how the Lord
I don't know.
used us.
That's the big problem with this receiver, is you don't know where you are really. Okay, we're almost up the top. So that's FT8 from ham radio operators, which I like doing.
Okay, Kilo Echo 2, Charlie Uniform Romeo. I have you with a little front top. I have you 5656 Nova Scotia.
Selectivity control here.
Roger, did you say November Juliet, New Jersey?
I'm not sure what it's doing.
Roger, okay, QRZ, Victor Echo 1 radio. Golf
Sounds like a
Alpha.
contest.
Kilo Foxtrot 9 radio.
Kilo Foxtrot 8 Alpha Uniform Yankee.
Station ending radio.
Definitely what it is.
Kilowatt Foxtrot 9 radio. Kilo Fox 9 radio. Oh, there he is, my old friend. Kilo Fox 9 radio. Victor Echo 1 radio, Golf Alpha. I got you 5.
Victor Echo 1 is a Canadian.
Nova Scotia. All right, Chris out. Good morning, Stuart. You're about 555 in Indianapolis today, Roger. Roger, the 55 in Indy. Absolutely a pleasure to have you in my lodge yet again, my friend. Good to hear you. Good to hear you as well. Hope you have a great day there. Be safe. 7-3. 7-3, you as well. QRZ, Victor Echo 1, Radio Germany, Ocean.
Kilo Foxtrot 8 Alpha Uniform Yankee.
Kilo Foxtrot number 3, Alpha Uniform Yankee. Is that a QSL? Alpha Uniform Yankee. Come again, please?
See what we can do with the phasing control there.
Nothing aired. QRZ, Victor Echo 1, radio, golf, Oscar. Uniform Yankee. You're 5 and 54, Nova Scotia, QSL. Roger, I'll take the 5 and 6 and 6 Central, November Yankee. Great to hear you and hope you have a great day. 73, QRZ, Victor Echo 1, radio, golf, Oscar. Bravo, Charlie Center, what's the prefix, please?
Okay. Well, we got a little bit more to go. Let's go. Nova Scotia. So there's a Canadian in Nova Scotia. It's VE1. My call is VE3, and I'm in Ontario. VE3JXM. That's me. Got this crystal on.
Over. Log year 55 here for southwestern Ohio. Thank you.
Southwestern Ohio. Yeah, it's definitely a contrast.
I need to talk with. We do encourage prayer requests here, and of course that can be for yourself, your family, situations, whatever the case is. However, you don't have to have a problem, of course, to come into this mess. And we truly hope that you don't. But we are here to pray for individuals as well. So if you have any prayer needs of any kind whatsoever, don't ever hesitate to ask it. Don't be embarrassed, none of those things. The Lord put this net together many years ago for this purpose, and so that is why we're here. We are a Christian net. We don't proselytize for anybody. For God's family, we base what we do here on His Word and only the Word. So your persuasion, whatever that is.
Ham radio, eh?
God's Word only.
God's Word. God speaks English. So lots of ham stuff. I'm not going to sit and dwell on it anymore. So we've reached the end of the road here. And the number is 460. Almost, so, you know, so 500's coming. So it looked like there's more than once, there aren't enough numbers here to read the whole range. Well, that is just fantastic, I'm telling you. We're going to shut this guy off. Oh yeah, I almost forgot how to shut him off. Shut him off this way. Well, okay, I'm telling you. Is there anything more I should do to this radio except use it? Really, I mean, it's fantastic. And it's all original. That's fantastic. And it's a special version built by the Canadian Signal Corps to install these extra outputs, including a output transformer, which makes it possible for me to do all this stuff. The other radio I have does not have an output transformer, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I don't believe I have a 5,000 or 7,000 ohm impedance speaker to hook up to it, so, but we'll worry about that when we get to it. So yeah, so I'm going to set this guy aside now. Next project is going to show up in about a half an hour. Some people are going to be at my house dropping off a console. I'm going to work on that for a few days, and when that's done, we'll bring the other HRO in here and find out what its story is. The story on this one is really good. This is fantastic, and I am not inclined to change any parts in it. No way. How could I make it any better? It's fantastic. Well, thanks a lot for watching, and Well, it's like I say, it'll be a different project in here for the next who knows how long, 4 or 5 days, something like that. See ya.